Participating in a fashion show with my illustrated clothing brand was totally an unexpected opportunity this year. If you're thinking about launching your own illustrated t-shirt business, then I invite you behind the scenes from the first contact with the organizers to the actual fashion show. Now, ready? Let's get started. Himesama, the beginning. For a brief explanation, Himesama clothing is a brand inspired by J-fashion, casual lolita and alternative fashion, launched in 2021 with Loïc Artillery as the graphic designer and me as the illustrator. Currently, we offer t-shirts, sweatshirts and tote bags, so it's really a simple and easy to produce clothing range for beginners. At a convention last September, I met the girls from Rouge Dentelle et Rose Ruban, a French Lolita association, and they told me about their Lolita event, the Modern Doll Fest. One thing led to another, and it turned out that I would be the artist for the next poster. The communication really started around January for the event in August, announcing the dates, exhibitor registrations, ticket reservations, etc. And starting June, the organization of the fashion show could start. Organizing the models. To facilitate the organization and centralize all of the info, we used the Fluffy Show website. In a first step, the brands were invited to create a profile to present themselves with photos, style, etc. In a second step, a call for applications was launched, where anyone could apply regardless of their experience. These future models could create a profile where they indicated their size, style, photos, experiences in other fashion shows. I was really impressed by the details, as there were often photos of their entire wardrobe with shoes, tights, accessories, so that the brands could easily imagine how the models would wear their outfits. Since it was the first and I was totally overwhelmed, Yumi Ardinoir, who was organizing the show, helped me a lot in choosing the models and coming up with ideas on how to create the outfits with t-shirts only. By the way, Yumi is also one of our Himesama ambassadors, and she shares a lot of tips on Lolita fashion on YouTube, so if you're interested, check her out. Anyway, we selected 3 girls for the show who had 3 very different styles. Yumi said that I should not hesitate to say exactly what I wanted, whether it was makeup, accessories, style, anything. And it felt kind of weird to impose outfits, because I believe it's important to wear something you like to feel at ease, and that's what Himesama is all about, like being original with clothes that make you feel beautiful and confident. So I contacted the girls by email. The general demand was that I provide a t-shirt and a tote bag. And then, taking into account their usual style in their photos, I would make suggestions while remaining open to their own ideas. For example, Zena would wear the black Gemini t-shirt and tote bag, and I suggested a punk Lolita inspired look, fishnet tights, more massive shoes, and darker makeup. She confirmed what she liked, with photos of the accessories she'd be using, and she also suggested to add bows to the t-shirt for a more girly touch. The second model, Celle Rose, would walk with the Queen of Time t-shirt and Capricorn bag. As she had already created Lolita coordinates with t-shirts, I gave her full freedom over her look, and she proposed 2 outfits on a mood board. It was really quick and efficient. The third model, Camellia, would take the Drama Queen t-shirt with a Virgo bag in romantic pink tones. So I requested a dreamy, sweet look and nude makeup with a light pink gloss for a fresh, feminine touch. These were the only demands, and for the rest she developed the outfit with different proposals of skirts, dresses, socks and accessories. The girls were really professional and the outfits were defined quickly. I was just a little nervous about the fact that they would do the fittings on the day of the show itself, because you never know with the sizes or if the clothes don't fit at all, but apparently this is very common in Lolita shows. Yumi said it had already happened that 2 models simply switched outfits, or that we quickly rearranged the clothes that were too large, for instance, with pins. So apparently it was very easy and I was stressing out over nothing. Anyway, on to the big day. The day of the show. The day of the show, the exhibitors arrived at the venue at around 10 a.m. to start setting up our booths. And 1 hour later, the models arrived and we all went to the catwalk room where Yumi gave a demonstration and all the necessary explanations. The models would wait in order in the corridor and would be called one by one to the stage. There were also 3 crosses on the catwalk, so the models knew where to stop and they needed to pose for 8 to 10 seconds. And while this seemed like a long time for the models, it was necessary for the audience to get the camera ready, to take some good shots with the brand logo on the screen in the background. There was one pose to the right, one to the left and one from the back. Then return to the main stage in one go and swap with the next model. The models were able to practice walking in order and test their poses, and the designers also had their say. For Himesama, for instance, it didn't make sense to pose from the back because our t-shirts are blank at the back. So I suggested swinging the bag over the shoulder to fill the emptiness. We were the second round, so as soon as the 3 girls had passed, we could move on to the fitting rooms, which was actually a small room where all the models had the things, and we took the opportunity to test their outfits with the accessories and the makeup. Roughly it was around 12 o'clock, so as soon as the outfits were validated, I left the girls to get ready on their own to finish setting up my own booth. The doors opened at around 2:30 for visitors to have a first look around the booths, and it was awesome to see so many Lolita and fashion brands in one place. To be honest, there was a big organizational bug on my side where I couldn't get new clothing stocks on time. So sure, I had my manga and art prints, but with my few t-shirts compared to the other designers with their big stocks of clothes, it was, yeah, impressive. So after our first visit, the show started, the booths closed, and the designers met their models in the corridor who were already lining up in order. And some were quite calm and chatting with each other, others literally had their hands shaking, others were testing their poses for the photos or getting their colors or details readjusted by the designers. Honestly, I was clueless and just randomly running around because I didn't know what to do or where to stand. Like, do I encourage my girls or do I leave them alone because they must be stressed? It was my first fashion show, and as a designer, apparently you only see the show from behind the scenes, and there are official photographers who share the pictures with us afterwards, so we can use them on our social media. So, when the show started, Yumi would do the comments and stand by the entrance to tell the models when they could go. And it was a big emotional moment when my models went on stage because, well, I think first times are always great, and it's quite something when you see people step up and represent your designs. For the fun fact, I was standing in the doorway trying to get a few pictures, and suddenly Yumi totally surprised me by announcing, "And here comes the designer," and just pushed me towards the scene. And she sent the girls back to me for a group picture. And I really felt like I was stumbling on stage with my phone, what am I doing here? Because clearly that wasn't in the rehearsals. Anyway, the show ended with a group photo where all the bronze came back on stage, and then we had a 30-minute break before reopening the booths. This delay allowed the designers to take photos with their models outside of the showroom, and also to recover their outfits, as some of them put them back on the booths or even for sale in the case of unique hand-sewn pieces. And once the booths reopened, the day continued like a classical convention. Lessons from the show. What can I say about this event? I think that for me and for you who is listening, our first steps with new experiences will always be great joys, but also humbling lessons. I have a lot of years of experience with anime conventions, with illustrated paper, manga, books and goodies, but the textile industry seems quite different. There are really all these designers who create unique clothes, who bring entire clothing racks or even fitting rooms, who have their big boxes with all their stocks. And it's something that still scares me to invest in stocks for all my designs with all the sizes and to have those big boxes to carry around. clothes seem more complicated to me to sell and a bigger investment than simple prints because you need to adapt to all the sizes. There was also this moment that made a huge impact on me after the show of the beautiful brand Anastasia, where the designer welcomed and thanked her models with such elegance and kindness, and I thought like, oh my gosh, she's so mature and classy and I want to be like this too. All of these were really moments where I don't want to say I got slapped in the face because I know my worth, but I realized just how much room I still had to grow. And if I wanted to develop Himesama as a clothing brand on the same level of these other brands, it was time to level up. The Modern Doll Fest was so full of respect and inspiration, be it from visitors, designers and models alike. If I could take one lesson from it, it would be stay proud of what you do and of the journey that got you here, but also stay humble to constantly improve and renew yourself. Because as creatives, we have the opportunity to constantly evolve, to create a life of our own, and that's the beauty of this job. So here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video on the backstages of an independent fashion brand. And in case you're interested, all the clothes in this video are available on himesama.fr, worldwide shipping, and for the release of our new collection this month, we're offering free shipping with the code YouTubeFree. If you want to treat yourself to an original look while supporting my artwork and this channel, so that I can continue to share lots of experiences and creative inspiration for free with all of you, it means a lot if you had a look at our shop. Thank you so much and see you soon!